Ever been to Canada? I haven't, but I decided to change that. So I decided to take a 24-hour trip to Vancouver, Canada. I flew from Houston to Vancouver, which was about 5 hours. First thing I did when I landed was to get cash, and then I went and I stored my baggage because I would be staying overnight, and it was about $25. I caught the train and I headed to downtown Vancouver where my exploration began. I was hungry, so I decided to head to Cactus Club Cafe where they had this amazing Creole spinach dip. It was so creamy. I also got it because it was a Creole spinach dip, and I'm from Louisiana, so I had to try it. I also got this Cajun sandwich, and both of them were a 10 out of 10. They delivered. One thing I loved about Vancouver is how easy it is to walk to a bunch of the different attractions. I then headed to the waterfront where I was honestly stunned at this beautiful view. Next to the waterfront is Canada Place, which is a great place to visit if you want to learn about the history of Vancouver. There's this free exhibit, which is the Discovery Center. It's located inside of Canada Place. There's this display of the history of Vancouver, and also if you walk along the waterfront as well, there's these plaques that also cover the history of the waterfront as well. So either way, you'll learn a lot about Vancouver. I then headed to the oldest neighborhood in Vancouver, which is Gastown, and I love the unique buildings and also the cobblestone streets. I really love like colonial look, and that's what it gave. But I also went to see the Gastown steam clock, which is the world's first powered steam clock, and it whistles every 15 minutes. So check this out. Really cool. I was smiling so big. I then headed to Stanley Park, which is one of the popular parks along the waterfront. There's so much greenery in the park. You can rent a bike, you can walk along the riverfront. There's a lot of shops, restaurants. You can see these cool geese also, and there are so many spots where you can sit and soak in the nature and the sunset, which I did. I then headed to La Belle Patate, where I wanted to try poutine, which is Canada's national dish, which is fries, curds, and gravy. Very simple meal. It looks interesting. It also tasted as interesting as it looked. It was okay. I then went to the beach, and listen, that was my favorite thing about Vancouver is how diverse the city is. There are beaches, there are mountains, and there's also the city side. I feel like anything that you're looking for, you could find it there in Vancouver. The food scene there is also incredibly diverse as well. There's so many options. I decided on this Korean barbecue chicken because it came recommended, and it was really good, very spicy. I then caught the transit back to the airport. Another thing to note is that the transit system is a 10 out of 10 in Vancouver. There are so many ways for you to get around the city easily, and I love that. I headed back to the airport where I will be staying for the night before heading to Thailand. So this is everything I did in